2015 coordinate geometry of the line question. The coordinates of 2 points are A and B, and the line 3x minus 4y minus 12 is perpendicular to AB. So there's the line that's perpendicular to AB. Find the value of t. So the key word there is perpendicular. So if it's perpendicular, it will have the slopes will multiply together to give you minus 1. So the slope of L1 is minus A over B. So the slope of L1 is minus 3 over minus 4, which equals 3 over 4. So that means that when I use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, I should get minus 4 over 3. Because that's the, turn it upside down, change the sign. So y2 minus 1 over x2 minus x1. So, and that should be equal to minus 4 over 3. So cross multiply, 3t plus 3, and then 7 took away 4 is 3, that equals minus 12. So 3t equals minus 15, t equals minus 5. Okay, so that's your value of t. Find in terms of k the distance between the point 10, 0 and the line L1. Now in terms of k means that there will be a k in the answer, so it's the perpendicular distance formula, a times x1 plus b times y1 plus c all over the square root of x squared plus y squared, or sorry, of a squared plus b squared. Keep thinking of Pythagoras there, but I suppose it's all the same. Now, so if we have this line, 3x minus 4y minus 12 equals 0, then it's ax plus by plus c equals 0. So a is 3, b is minus 4, and c is minus 12. And this is the point x1, y1. So just substitute them in. It tells us in terms of k. So a is 3, so 3 times x1, so 3 times 10. Plus b is minus 4 times k, because k is y1. Plus c, so plus minus 12, so that's just minus 12. And that's all over the square root of a squared plus b squared. Now we can ignore the minus 4 here. Well, not ignore it, but it's going to be positive anyway. But I suppose just put everything into brackets and that'll keep you right there. So in the top, we've got 30, take away 12, that gives me 18 minus 4k all over. So 3 squared plus 4 squared, and then take the square root, 5. So that's in terms of k. P, so that's the point P, remember, P is, so that's the point P. It's on a bisector between the lines L1 and L2. Find the possible value of k. Right, so let's just have a little look here. If you've got the line L1 here, say, and you've got the line L2, and let's just say here we have the bisector. Well, if P is on that, then it's the same distance from both L1 and L2. Okay, so it's the perpendicular distance from the point to the line. My drawing wouldn't be the best there, but you get the idea. The perpendicular distance from a point to a line. So work out so we have that, 18 minus 4k. So that's the distance from P to L1. Now, get the distance so that's the distance from P to L1. Now get the distance from P to L2, and I'll have to write this small. So L2, so this is A, B, and C. We're just going to use the perpendicular distance formula again, and that's x1, y1. So P to L2, so it's AX1, so 5 times 10 plus 12 times y1. See, we're just getting the distance to P again, and we have to do it in terms of K, plus minus 20, which is minus 20. And that's all over the square root of 5 squared plus 12 squared. So that gives me, so 50 take away 20, that gives me 30 plus 60k over the square root of, so 5 squared plus 12 squared, so that's over 13. I think, yeah. Yep. And that's the absolute value. Now that's the distance from P to L2. But these two distances should be the same, because it's on, this is the bisector, so it's the same distance from both points. So this is actually equal to 18 minus 4k. And this is an equation that only has one unknown. Now you can square both sides then to find the value of k. So when you square both sides, you should get two values for k. You should get k equals 3 over 4, or k equals, what's the other one? Minus 48. So that's when you square both sides. Now another way of actually doing that is just, you could, and again, just it's difficult to do it using the room involved here, but you could do 30 plus 60k over 13 equals plus 18, so plus the whole thing over 5, or 30 plus 60k over 13 equals minus 18 minus 4k over 5. And that comes from, if you remember your absolute value, if I was to say to you that the absolute value of x was equal to 4, then x could be equal to 4 or minus 4. Okay? Or as I said earlier, if you want to square both these sides, okay, square that side and square that side. Now the numbers get a bit bigger there and a bit unwieldy, but those are your answers anyway. Hopefully you can work them out. Now, if k is greater than 0, find the distance from P to L1. So if k is greater than 0, then k will have to pick the 3 over 4, because 3 over 4 is greater than 0. And then find the distance from P to L1. Remember, up here, that was the distance from P to L1. So 18 minus 4 times 3 over 4, sorry, I should put that in the brackets, over 5. So put that into your calculator and you'll find that the distance is 3 units. Okay.